Hello, hello, my friends. It is Hondo. And welcome back to the Knights of the Nerd Republic. You know what to do, and stay profitable.
The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Hello there, and welcome back to Knights of the Nerd Republic, the show where your favorite nerds talk all things from the galaxy far, far away. I am your host, Jared the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs, and joining me, not usually, but he's here. He's the Sentinel Returns.
Yeah, I kind of come out of the woodworks every once in a while.
Just kind of shows up at my doorstep like, hey, boot it up.
Yeah,
want to go.
You know, hey, are you on tonight? Okay, I'll be there 5 minutes. No.
Yeah, it's literally, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay, I guess we're recording now. Yeah, it's fun. You were here at the beginning of Kenobi. You were here at the end.
Yeah, with my so
it's
I
like
did tweet about it, but like bad takes is usually my jam. So you'll be hearing plenty of
those
today.
Yeah. Don't worry. We're gonna be making so much fun of you, and it's gonna be a blast. We also have the one-eyed knight lore keeper Connor Chiquiti.
Hello there. I just want to add, I didn't say this on the pre-show. My mom called me like 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes before the stream. And the first thing she started off with was, I have some questions for you. And I'm like, all right, what did I apparently do now? She's like, I just want to ask you about Kenobi because the family watched the first 2 episodes. And so she had like a few questions about like Owen, how Obi-Wan knows who Vader is, just simple stuff, really. That was easy to answer. So.
Well, that's fun. Well, hopefully they're able to get answers from you as they go and also not get any.
Oh, yeah, no, they said they're going to call me if they have questions.
Your wisdom.
yes. The live up to the Lord Keeper name. Hot damn, we got Kelly Knox in the chat. Hello there, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
We also have you have Eli from In the Galaxy, and we got the Nerd Herder crew. We also in stream have the consular Alexis Capel.
Hello, everyone. Or I should say hello there, like everyone else is.
And we are not alone. We are joined by the goats of Star Wars YouTube. We have Alex and Mollie Damon of Star Wars Explained. Woo!
Hello there. I was like, we have to say it too.
Very excited. I've been looking forward to doing like a full season discussion of Kenobi. I think I can say now this is sitting shoulder to shoulder with The Last Jedi as my favorite Star Wars period. And like I said, I'm going to wait and see if it tops it. I think it could. And I think this conversation is going to help get some brain juices flowing. It's exactly how I feel, because that's how this thing normally goes. But before we jump into that discussion, a real quick word from our lovely sponsors at SundaysBloodyMary.com. You guys know the drill by now. Sunday's Bloody Mary is the most badass Bloody Mary accoutrement in the galaxy. Connor has completely been consumed by the TNAP logo. We'll get you out of the void soon, buddy.
Jared, I have one eye. I'm good.
and that eye is the Nerd Academy logo. Great branding. You guys know the Spicy Caesar Mix is my favorite. The award-winning Spicy Caesar Mix. They also have their classic mix and a mild mix as well with pickled dilly beans, okra, and asparagus for garnishes. So go to sundaysbloodymary.com/shop. Use code TNAP at checkout. Get 10% off your order and help out your favorite nerds whilst you do it. Alex and Mollie, before we talk any of the nitty-gritty, overall thoughts on Kenobi. Oh, wait, before we do that, actually, last time, because I have the clip, and I forgot to play it on the last one we did. Where the hell is it? I can't. There we go.
Hello there. That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There we go. I also just want to say real quick, I just got the notification. Scotty, you haven't been subscribed to the channel this entire time? I just got the notification. Scotty J-Ro has subscribed to the Nerd Academy podcast. You-
He probably unsubscribed. Yeah, he's just trying to make a power move.
You rat bastard. You
Scotty, that's not bomb bad.
He's trying to distract you.
He is. Like a good arch enemy should. So anyway, Alex and Molly, overall thoughts on the season. You guys got to be a part of the big premiere celebration as well, right?
No,
No.
we could
No.
have.
Okay.
We actually chose to watch it with all of the Schmodown crew, all of the Star Wars Schmodown players
that's right.
that were out there.
I remember seeing that on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, because like we didn't know that was gonna. Nobody knew that was gonna happen, and so when they announced that they were gonna show everyone the first 2 episodes, at Celebration, we were like, well, okay, hold on, like, how do we rearrange all of our plans to do this? And we just decided, we can give our tickets for this to 2 other people, and we can go watch it with the Schmodown POV crew. So that's what we did.
Well, that's
I'm
fun.
also the kind of person that likes complete and utter silence when I'm watching anything that I love. So I was like, in a room full of hundreds of people, I would have been the one wet blanket, like, everyone stop! Quiet! I can't hear! Turn the subtitles on!
I didn't hear the name of the Jawa. Shut the fuck up!
Every
I-
detail matters.
I have to tread very lightly when we turn the camera on to film our reactions when we were watching these episodes, because like I can talk a little bit but not too much, or else he gets snappy, and I'm like, we're doing it for the patrons. Come on.
I have to toe a line because
Adorable.
I wake up. I have the what I like to call my Disney Plus alarm on my phone for shit like Kenobi, and woke up at 3 a.m. for every episode, and I practically just had to like put a pillow in my mouth to watch this show, especially the finale, because I got very loud during the Vader fight, and I was very much afraid. I woke
It's
up
in
the
the middle of the
whole
night.
house
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it is 4 a.m. and I'm like, "Whoa!" Yeah, it was not pretty.
Oh man, it was so
Um,
exciting though. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we will. But I've kept up with some of y'all's reviews. I know you guys have been enjoying it for the most. I don't know for the most part. We all loved it. I'm not even going to dance around that one. Lexi, you've not been on for. Oh, you were on for the finale, but other than that, you have not
Yes.
been on for a lot of Kenobi talk.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's my new favorite Disney Plus show currently. Right.
I
Really?
completely agree. Disney Plus as a whole, Marvel shows, Star Wars, all of it. It is my favorite show. End of discussion. There's some Vader bias there. This show could have been absolute cheeks, and since he's in it, I would have still loved it. But I have my biases. Connor, overall thoughts, experience before we get into some of the nitty gritty here.
It was neat.
Super neat.
That's neat.
I mean, I liked it. I really liked Obi-Wan's journey in it. His journey with Leia, especially Reva's journey. Just all the characters' journeys I thought were really cool, and how it really enhanced A New Hope specifically was really nice.
Yes, absolutely. This show stands as one of the best examples of the of like Star Wars' superpower to retroactively make things more meaningful. And like you see, Kenobi was the master class in doing just that. Joel, when last we saw you, we had the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's been a while since
It's been a minute.
Yeah, you want my take?
Yeah, this is going to be the first of many shit takes from
Actually,
Dr. Dad clip.
so I think by far the last episode was the best episode.
I agree.
And I say it to everyone that I think the point where I jumped out of my seat was when Darth Vader force grabbed Obi-Wan's lightsaber and like spun him around. That was just one of the most epic moves I've ever seen. And then you had the really like unanticipated, I think, moment where you get all the flashes in Obi-Wan's head about of Leia and all of that, and then that inspiration and everything, and he that's the moment he's back to being Obi-Wan, and from episodes 1 and 2, I was always like, I want Obi-Wan back. If they go through this whole season without giving us a good lightsaber fight, and giving Obi-Wan that oomph back, then I would have been so pissed. But it was, I leaned over to who I was watching it with at the time, and I went, "It's fan service, but I don't care. I really don't
Fan
care."
service done right. Fan service done right. It's funny you mentioned that because Spencer and I had a conversation off air and then kind of brought it on air last week because we did like a little mini discussion last week, and it was mostly about the finale. And I think we talked about this in the finale review itself, that one of my favorite things about that final fight between Obi-Wan and Vader in the show is that it took the, like the dark side amp concept where Luke gets that adrenaline rush that helps him take out Vader in Return of the Jedi, and Anakin gets it to take out Dooku and Sith. That this is the first time we see that happen for a light side Force user, and that it not be that use your aggressive feelings. It's that need to be a protector and a defender, and that compassion that gives Obi-Wan that extra nitro in the engine to just come out and do some of the most wild shit we've ever seen him do. Mixed with my favorite brand of Obi-Wan, this plan's so dumb it should work, type strategizing, where he's like, I'm just gonna take the butt end of my lightsaber and I'm gonna smash him. Smash him.
I still can't get over that.
I love it.
I watched that. I've watched that just exact clip maybe about 30 times because in all of years on this earth, I would have never considered that as a move that you could. Yes, exactly. It was hella neat. I can't get over it. He's just, oh yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna take the pommel end of the saber and just smash it into the rest. It's so creatively brutal, and I love it.
Well, the thing about it that I love, and Spencer and I talked about this, I think that I've been going back and forth since the finale as to whether or not I think Obi-Wan was going for the kill. Because before I thought whatever he literally slashes Vader across the face, I'm clearly he's trying to take his head off.
But what do you think about the whole Disney forgot how lightsabers work bit? Because there were quite a lot of slash and rebounds off of bodies throughout the series.
I don't think so, really.
He hit a trooper in the back with the lightsaber and it bounced off.
Him. He was pulling back. I don't think it bounced off. I think he hit, came back, and set up for the next strike.
I don't know. But then, you get the whole lightsaber to the face thing. And that I can accept because I think, the whole armor thing is a good, argument. But sorry,
I'm just gonna let them explain to you how it works.
Well, at this point in time, Stormtrooper armor was actually useful, and it was made out of a different alloy. And I don't know, I'm making that up. But
I wasn't gonna tell him you were bullshitting him, Alex. I wasn't gonna tell him. I can tell you bought that.
This is where he is in Star Wars knowledge, and I'm on the floor. So
you sell yourself short.
So. Well, no, when we play Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, okay, I don't even get a turn. Okay, they've already wiped the board. So.
You're above me, Joel, though. You're above me a little bit.
We need to work together. Just two of us, combine heads. Yeah.
I don't think Obi-Wan was going for the kill. It's I've watched that scene several times now, and he's pretty far from Vader, and the way he swings his saber, it looks like he's going to just try to get into that helmet,
disable him,
because maybe that's a last ditch effort of maybe if I can look him in the eye, his one good eye, maybe
nice
get through there.
I think going into the fight he was going for the kill because he has that conversation with Qui-Gon. He's talking to himself and to Qui-Gon, and he says one way or another one of us is going to die. So I kind of interpreted it as he's going for the kill until he sees Anakin's face. Mm-hmm. And he's now I can't do it.
No,
but then he realizes he says it's then my friend is dead. He's gone. Anakin is gone.
Which I think is really powerful. And I think it also kind of echoes back to Rebels with his very brief tete-a-tete with Maul, where, he's he's riding the desert, but look whatever isn't above. I think it kind of goes to that where Obi-Wan makes it so that Vader can't pick himself back up at this point because he has to focus all his energy on breathing.
Completely disables himself.
And then I think there's a power that Obi-Wan takes from that moment and now I'm going to leave you here because
It's
I'm not going to play this game
right.
anymore.
It's like
And
now you can't beat me kind of thing. It's like you can keep trying, but I'm gonna beat you every time kind of thing. At least in my mind. So,
well, I mean, and even when he does kill him, he's still lost. More powerful than you could possibly imagine, and all that.
And
Fun
he
stuff.
steps on his cape like, there's no way he did this again. There's no possible way he did this again.
I loved all those memes of like the most Anakin Skywalker shit ever is when Obi-Wan vanishes when he dies and Vader just starts stepping on the robe like, where the fuck is he?
And not to mention that happened to him with Ahsoka too. She just disappeared. So he's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
am I missing something? I don't understand.
And I again, just something I want to bring up from the small conversation I have with Spencer, courtesy of Alden Diaz, kind of like getting Spencer's brain moving with his post about Haja and how like Haja kind of informed how Obi-Wan would view Han years later. Spencer got me to spontaneously burst into tears when we recorded that because he was talking about the let me look on you through my own eyes thing. And that like the last time he sees like pre-Death Star, but like the last time he really sees Obi-Wan, and they have that conversation. It's that one half of the helmet is gone and he can see him. Same thing with Ahsoka. The last time he sees her and he's still in this mentality, like with Obi-Wan, there's that level of like half you did this to me, half, I killed Anakin Skywalker, all of those mixed emotions. With Ahsoka, it's him, truly enveloped in the dark side. I don't think there's an ounce of conflict in him with Ahsoka, but he still has to look her in the eye when he says, then you will die. And then she disappears on him.
It's poetry.
It is like poetry. It rhymes. And then Spencer, I think knowing he was going to get me to cry, I don't think he'd ever admit to that. I think he knew he was going to get me with it.
Yeah.
Where he was like, and then with Luke, let me look on you with my own eye. And I just stood up and started crying. I had to walk around to the tissue box that's right
Who
there.
knew he had a heart the whole time?
Oh, dude, piss off. But no, go the little mini discussion. I think it's like the 40-minute mark is where Spencer says it, and I just right to his face. But yeah, talking about all the, I want to get the Vader stuff out of the way because I'll accidentally take up all of the show talking about the Vader stuff. Star Wars Explained clan in the bottom left. How do we feel about how Vader was portrayed in the season? Do we, how the greater narrative of Star Wars, again, going to the retroactively makes everything better. I think despite how great all the comics have been, I think this is the best Vader portrayal we've had. And just how you guys are feeling with how it plays into everything across the story.
Yeah, I mean, I loved seeing Vader at, one of the times in his life where he's like the most dark. He's really in it. By the end of the show, he basically has to like tell Palpatine like, no, I'm in it to win it now. Like it's you and me against everybody. And seeing Vader go through that town and just like snap someone's neck, just trying to bring Obi-Wan out because he knows, he's probably watching from afar thinking like, who is this monster? I love all that stuff. I love seeing super dark Vader, but I also love seeing how he's also just like not getting it. He's just wants to fight and fight and fight. And I love seeing Obi-Wan have that moment of realization like, no, you know what? I'm going to stop this cycle here and I'm going to leave because you're truly lost at this point. So I loved all of Vader's stuff in this.
I really liked the way that they showed, much like you brought up Maul and Obi-Wan in Star Wars Rebels, is, Maul doesn't grow, Vader doesn't grow, the dark side doesn't grow. And then to have Vader in that final scene with Palpatine, and he's like, I'm going to burn this galaxy down until I find Kenobi, and he's all that matters. And then Palpatine telling him to stop because he's getting too much in his feelings, and that, the dark side thinks that it's stronger to cut all ties, not care about anyone. And we just saw, like you said, Jared, that Obi-Wan caring about Luke and Leia the fact that Obi-Wan cares is what gives him that supercharged power. But it's harder to care, and it's easier. The dark side is quicker, easier, more seductive. It's easier to not care, and that's what Palpatine wants him to be doing. So I thought that they really nailed everything that Vader and the dark side is. That, you know, there's no growth. It's just stagnation and seething in your own anger and resentment and sadness, and it's depressing. It never gets you what you want.
Mhm.
Vader never wins.
Yeah.
For all of his strength, he never ever wins. Even in The Empire Strikes Back, he doesn't get what he wants.
Mhm.
So I thought that they did a great job making him scary and terrifying in that like fun, pulpy adventure way, but also striking the balance that it's like, but it doesn't work.
Mhm.
Exactly. I think you bring up a great point that, like, I think that Vader should always be steeped in being a cautionary tale. And, you know, as a very loud and annoying Vader fanboy, you know, I'll be the first to admit that, like, again, I made very like ugly monkey noises is the only way I can describe it. When he brought down the transport and started ripping it apart,
and it was
Like,
without effort.
without
Absolutely
any
without
effort. Like again, just
It took Ray. I see it took Ray and Kylo to pull that one small transport down.
it was the tug of war. I think they both could have
you know,
done
but
it.
then Darth Vader
It was a
like,
tug of war, Joel. It
Um,
was a tug of war.
don't make me start defending them right now. That's not. I don't think-
Remember,
think
I
it's
have
supposed to be-
come to see
I know, I
Kylo.
know. We'll get there. We'll get there. I do want to. Scotty had a great question. Piss off, Scotty. I do want to talk about this. We can kind of do this in the round. He said, "I'm curious to know how you guys feel about Obi-Wan's desire to have Luke kill Vader in Jedi." I will go first, and I want to harken back to the Revenge of the Sith novelization. And one of like the coldest things that Obi-Wan has ever not said, but you know, it was his internal monologue about how he wasn't going to kill Anakin. Was that he could feel Palpatine coming, and he was like, okay, I need to get out of here. Because if Palpatine's coming, that means Yoda didn't kill him. What is going on with Yoda? Oh my God, I need to leave. But also said that he was not feeling merciful that day, and that basically I will let the Force sort him out. And assumed he was going to die, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. And also he was like, you know what? You made your bed and lie in it. I think that Obi-Wan still himself is not capable of killing Anakin. I don't think he can do it, but I also think he's smart enough to realize, maybe wrongfully by the end of Return of the Jedi, that he's smart enough to realize he needs to be taken out. I just know I could never do it. Lexi, and then we'll kind of loop up to Connor and then Joel.
I knew you were going to say that. I don't remember what you're talking about.
No, just that in Return of
Completely
the
honest.
No, like in Return of the Jedi, whenever Obi-Wan says like you have to confront Vader, and Luke says I won't kill my father, well then the Emperor has already won, and how the Obi-Wan kind of goes from giving up his opportunity to kind of put Anakin down here and now, but then turns around and tells Luke it's go time.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen all those movies more than once. I can never, ever remember the details like you people do. I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Like, it sounds familiar, but I can't picture the scene. So skip me.
It's Force Ghost Obi-Wan sitting on a log in Dagobah with Luke, right? And he's kind of like, you gotta go kill Vader, man. Like this is just something you have to do.
Bro, you got it.
Familiar.
Listen up, fam.
And yeah, Luke says, I can't kill my own father. The Emperor's already won. It's interesting because a lot of people were saying, you know, like, why didn't Obi-Wan kill Vader when he had the chance to? And we've talked about this at length and how, you know, it's not really who Obi-Wan is in that moment. And also, he hasn't known about Vader for that long. He doesn't know what we all knew and about, you know, all the terrible things that Vader has done and will continue to do. So then we see Obi-Wan in Return of the Jedi after he finds out a lot of the terrible things that Vader has done. And, you know, he felt he felt it when, Alderaan gets blown up. Obi-Wan's realized probably at that point, like, this has to stop, and you got to be the one to do it, because Vader's done a lot of terrible, terrible things at that point that, I don't know. By then he might just be like, no, it's gotta end, and you have to be the one to do it.
Yeah, I think Jared's right. That I think he knows that Vader has to go, but he knows he can't do it. He can't bring himself to do it, or else he would have back then. But yeah, we've talked about that a lot at this point. That just wouldn't have felt. That would have felt like the opposite of the character if he just walked up and lopped his head off and left. Obviously, he can't do that because of the story, but that just is not Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I think he still fully believes it's like someone's got to take Vader out. It's not going to be me. Luke's the best bet. I think he just didn't have this idea that Vader could be redeemed. I guess he foolishly, pridefully thought that, well, if I can't do it, then certainly Luke can't. Mm-hmm. But I also think, and I agree with that, I think if Obi-Wan were in Luke's spot, being electrocuted by the Emperor, I don't think Vader would have saved Obi-Wan. So in a sense, Obi-Wan's right, but I don't think he had it in his mind at all that Vader could be brought back. So it's, in his mind, it's the only way.
Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, if he thought that there was any chance, it would have to come from Luke being the one to, like, all right, last chance, Dad. Like, are you gonna do the right thing here or not? And Obi-Wan probably knows that Luke is the only person that can possibly reach him at this point.
I think Obi-Wan thought he was unreachable. In my mind, like, because Obi-Wan's wrong a lot, honestly. So in my mind, he is just like, there's no hope to bring him back. So just, Luke, you go do the dirty work, and I'll sit back here.
Yeah.
I think there's absolutely something to that. Joel, were you getting ready to say something?
Listen, I can't even add anything. That was perfect. It was like right out of a book. Yeah. I got nothing to add.
It was perfect. It was right out of a book. It's
It was
something
right
I'm
out
going
of
to
a
put into my everyday vernacular.
Yeah, it's right out of a book.
Connor.
Yeah.
Or are we gonna keep
Same with Joel. I
chugging?
really have nothing to add. I just wanted to go back to Kelly's comment of the certain point of view scene, because it didn't occur to me till like maybe a day or so after, when I was chatting with someone on Twitter, and I think it was Flying Gray's son. I think it was Zach. He said that, like, to him at least, when Obi-Wan says, Vader betrayed and murdered your father, what I told you was true from a certain point of view. And it's now like, yeah, because it was Anakin's point of view, like 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I'm glad you brought that up, because Kelly had another comment here. Is this the one? Yeah. Do you think it was Anakin or Vader saying that? And I love that. I think it's one of the few times that Anakin and Vader are truly one and the same in Anakin's own mind. I think that there's like a very Harvey dentification type thing happening with him at all times. And there are instances where one personality is coming to the surface. But I think here, this is the most they've ever been one. And it's, I think
hear
that's
it in the voice too. Starts with Anakin, ends with Vader.
Absolutely.
Which I can't get over. And like, I will get into the whole, like, I mean, for me at least, the whole, like, which duel do you like better, Ahsoka versus Vader in Twilight Apprentice, or this one, since they're like, they have that moment of
don't make
unsheathing of the
children.
mask.
That's very true there. But I do think this is Vader, Anakin, whatever name you want to apply to it, realizing that
Vanakin.
He's Vanakin, sure. He's very quickly, I think he's very clearly realized that, like, I'm not going to win the physical fight. I'm beaten, but I know just saying this is going to break his heart, and that's what I came here for. I mean, he did come here to kill him, but, hurting his feelings is a good consolation prize to that level, at least. So I think that's absolutely one of the few times they're absolutely one and the same. Or at least one of the few times insofar as like individual behaviors. Like I think there comes a point in time not long after Kenobi takes place where he is Darth Vader. Like there's no splitting hairs about it, and that the Anakin bubbling underneath is not really a factor. Which Mollie, you alluded to it a few moments ago, and it was kind of like the lead question for the Q&A this week. You guys did. I thought it was brilliant how you guys put it. That like that Obi-Wan being in his life even a little bit is going to keep Anakin Skywalker forward in Vader's day to day.
Can I reply to a comment?
Sure, Joel.
I'll take you up on that right there. Because frankly, I did a whole class in ornithology, so
Birds aren't real.
Is there something else that like spawned the bird thing, or is Boop just acknowledging their bird superiority?
They are totally just saying like they've got bird superiority. I'm challenging it.
I believe you completely on that. I will cower in bird Trivial Pursuit. I don't want to.
I will cower in just regular Trivial Pursuit. Some of those questions are just insane.
The card says moops. Yeah, so I think we're gonna delve into bad take for Joel territory, and we're gonna start with you, so we can get the flogging out of the way here.
Okay.
So when we did our review of the first 2 episodes,
Lexi has something to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna run and get a water really quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll bump you.
I'm sorry. I should have been prepared, but I'm not.
No, you're
so
good.
I'll be back.
Okay, so I'm gonna move the tissue box. As I said, I can see her. The tissue box is perfectly covering her window on my side. So you didn't much care for Reva in the first 2 episodes.
So my opinion of Reva was not so.
You're gonna get jumped verbally by all of us.
Okay,
I'm just looking forward to this.
My opinion, very flatly, was and is all specifically related to her character as a whole and the writing of her character. I have a huge problem with characters that are written, villain characters, antagonists that are specifically written in a way that is just very flat and annoying and just overall.
You don't like the chip on their shoulder enforcer.
It's not so much that. It's just like, it's the same, like, I'm just going to run after the protagonist and annoy the hell out of him until he gets to the end of the storyline. And it just felt like a lot of that in the first 2 episodes. It's just like mindlessly running towards Obi-Wan and hunting him without any character development whatsoever. It was very annoying. And it didn't leave any room for the development of like the rest of the storyline, because it was just taking up, in my mind, too much screen time. And
I'm sustaining psychic damage. Keep going.
I'm waiting for
this is a fiery hot take. I love it.
and so like, but it's not the only like series that I feel this, like, so many characters are poorly written in this way, and it makes me want to immediately leave the room and like not watch the show if there's a character like that. And so I was feeling that very strongly when watching especially the second episode. But and frankly, I still feel that way. It stayed that way through most of the rest of the episodes.
I don't know.
Maybe in episode 5 and 6, that's when it was like, okay, sure, there's more character development. But then I went, okay, the character's badly written in the way that like the directing was not suited to the actress, I don't think, in my own personal opinion. And it was very like, and I hate saying it this way, but there are a lot of things that are just really Disney, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's not meant for our age group. It's not meant for the analysis of like a quality driven critique of a piece of artwork.
Well, I have questions. So like, I just want to know like what you thought of her story arc once we found out that she was one of those Padawans and that she had survived being stabbed by Vader. And like, her whole like character arc from the very beginning to the very end. What did you think of like all the stuff that we found out about her and the fact that she came out of that still like not killing Luke? She decided to do the right thing in the very end.
So yeah, okay. So I like the idea of the character arc. I just don't think it was very well applied to the screen. And I feel that all I got out of it was a Padawan, was going to be killed. I think she got stabbed.
Yeah, she survived.
Okay,
but
so was a Padawan, was going to be killed by Anakin and survived. Now is slightly conflicted between proving herself to Anakin.
Oh God, no! You misread that so hard. She doesn't give a damn about proving herself.
Except the fact that she tried to kill Luke for Anakin.
No, she wanted revenge.
No.
She wanted revenge. She saw Luke and she's like, I don't know who the fuck this kid is, but I know she's connected to that son of a bitch. And if I can't get him, I'm gonna take the next best
Regardless,
thing.
there's like 4 points on the line that
I think you were grossly misreading it.
And I don't think there was enough in there. And it kind of leads into how I view the character development, and my biggest gripe to it is that when we were introduced to the character, it was we start here and it hasn't changed, and there was no like it was just very static the whole way through, where it could have given, like, if you give me something like Anakin Skywalker or even Darth Vader starting in episode 4, they didn't introduce him as this really aggressive, outrageous, like annoying character. It was, okay, here's a villain and we're going to slowly give points.
Vader has no character in A New Hope. He just looks cool.
But they don't
and he doesn't have a character until you hear him say, I am your father. And it's like, oh, this recontextualizes everything. Okay.
So I just feel like it's introduced in a very.
Don't embarrass us in front of our company, honey.
No, I'm just saying that I think there was a great like broad, slow development into like Vader's past as you go along in the series, where you're just introduced very aggressively.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting.
You're good. That's all I have to say. And I know it's not a popular opinion, but
I want to say I don't think this is a shit take. I just think it's a hot take. So I
appreciate you for not bashing me.
I think I kind of see what you're saying for the first 2 episodes, because I was also just like, I don't know if I buy Reva as a villain. She seems like she's trying real hard to be evil. And then when we got to episode 3, and with the knowledge of like she's probably one of those Padawans, and we see her like get real mad when she sees that Jedi symbol and she learns about the safe house and the path and all that. And I could see it being like a very much, why not me? And having resentment and anger. Yeah. So I agree. I don't think there was much development over the first 2 episodes. She was just chasing Kenobi, guiding him on a collision course with Vader. Like that was the goal. She did kind of get what she wanted eventually, of Vader will be happy with her, promote her to Grand Inquisitor. He'll be distracted with Vader. Like she just wanted to get closer and closer to Vader at any cost so she could try to stab him in the back. But the second we got to episode 3 and I kind of realized like, oh, she is acting tough. And she says that even in part 4 to Leia, that like, oh, the braver you act, the more scared you really are. And she's like, I know
4 was really the peak of her character. 4 was where I felt like there was the development of the character. But I totally agree with you whenever you were saying like it's kind of like it was trying too hard to be a villain.
But I think that was the point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that she was overcompensating. She was trying to put on like a big bad face because she knows, even though it's not who she is, if she wants her revenge, she has to be bigger and badder than the 5th brother and the Grand Inquisitor and the 4th sister, and she's got to run around and cut hands off, and it's just a betrayal of everything that she was raised to do. And she's trying, like, I do think she is conflicted, which ultimately she shows that she's not willing to fully go through with killing a child to get her revenge. So that, like, I think I see where you're coming from, because I felt a little bit of that in the first 2 episodes, and then it's just like, okay. In episode 3, I felt like I understood her more, and 4 and 5, like I really loved 5 and what they did with her there. But I haven't watched episodes 1 or 2 again since finishing the series. I don't think so.
Yeah,
maybe I'll do that and see.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will see a lot more.
Yeah.
I really do hope we get more of Reva. I think that I think she's one of those characters that where they leave her, there is just an endless gold mine of stories to tell with her. And
Survivor.
I know
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But like, they're set in the same
you never
year.
know. You never know. I'm not gonna
You be
hold my breath
careful.
out of the direction.
If you put Connor and I on this path, we'll talk about Survivor and nothing else. So careful.
Sometimes I kind of want to do that. I was just let that. I want to be. I don't want to have to be the one who's like, I'm going to hyper focus on this one thing, and it's all of your problem now. This show has Vader in it, and it's all your problem. But we alluded to it earlier. Like, it took like 6 years and me like very like with a whiteboard, like mapping out like Campbellian myth to like get you to like Kylo Ren.
I couldn't get on board with Kylo Ren for almost the same reason. Almost
And that
exactly
makes
the same.
complete sense, because you are absolutely right. He is trying so hard to be Vader, which I thought was a brilliant decision.
Yeah.
Of like,
They're all a bunch of tryhards.
Yeah.
You know, all the Inquisitors especially.
Well, thank you for at least not making me feel like a fool.
No,
for
here's the
having
thing.
those
Here's the thing. I
thoughts.
know I have to tough love you into a better opinion, like I did with Kylo Ren. I know. I can fix you with those with that.
Excuse me.
I just like that Reva. Her character represents like the failure of the Jedi and represents something that, you know, it haunts Obi-Wan every day of his life. And they could have just had him do the saving. Like, okay, he can't save Vader. Let's have him save someone, save Reva. And they didn't do that. They gave her her own story. She kind of takes that chance to save herself in the end. And that is like such an important step that Star Wars is taking. The next step would be to show how she would atone for all the terrible things that she did. And just the fact that she survived that show gives me hope that we'll see that one day. So that's one of my favorite things about her character, that like she saved herself.
I think that's a great point.
I love that, and I think this is very important for those redemption arcs. Not only did she save herself, but she did get to have like, for lack of a better term, like arms to run into once she did it, in a way where like she was able to have that catharsis. Like it wasn't just I made that right decision and now I just got to keep all of these like really complex fucked up emotions right here for forever, I guess. Like she got to have that conversation with Obi-Wan, and I think that also was a lot for Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
He
sees a lot of himself in her, and it's kind of like, well, I went from Ben, who was scared and just hiding on Tatooine, to who I am now. I'm back to Obi-Wan, and like you can do that too. You can get back on the right path.
I hadn't thought of it that way, and I like that. I was thinking of it as a minor victory, I guess. It's like, okay, Anakin couldn't save himself or be pulled back, but Reva could. Reva did it, and I just saw it as like two people who were so affected by Anakin's fall, coming to terms with it and growing beyond it. But I think that's good too.
I absolutely agree. I love the spin you put on that, Molly. Lexi, Connor, Reva, thoughts?
I wish I was listening to that because Boop fucking roasted me again. Ugh.
Okay, well, Lexi. Oh, I'm sorry.
She's great. I really like her character. I'm just, again, super glad she survived. Like, correct me if I'm wrong,
potential.
Alex and Molly, she's the first Force user to be redeemed and not be killed immediately after, right? In canon,
At least that I
In
can
canon,
think
yeah,
of.
I was
Well, and if we're not talking about the High Republic, because there is some stuff in the young reader book. I forget his character name, but he like goes dark and then comes back, and Vernestra helps him through that journey.
I would say the character that's been with the dark side the longest, because also, yeah, there's Imri.
Yeah.
Imri
Yeah.
in the High Republic. Also Quinlan in Dark Disciple goes dyke for a time, but I think Riva is the one that she has spent 10 years. She spent a very significant amount of time within the dark side.
Long enough
So-
to use her anger to survive 2 stabbed wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
Riva is a tank.
Moses Ingram's just built different, so
She is.
I will say, and I've gotten to the point with a lot of like Star Wars antagonists where it's like, give me a pulpy villain who can die laughing maniacally, or like let them live past their redemption.
Mhm.
I can't do. I'm a good guy.
Stab.
Like I'm like the beeping heart rate monitor. Like the minute the light side kicks in, I just can't do that shit anymore. And I had, not of my own volition, seen like a potential leak about Riva's ending, and
I know
I
what
was
you're
like-
talking about.
and I was, because it basically said that like she was going to go back to Vader and claim that she had killed Obi-Wan, and Vader was going to one last time lash out at her and kill her. And I was like, and it was the one thing I was like, please, for the love of God, don't do this shit again.
Well, I kind of think that. Okay, so Stuart Beattie, the original screenwriter for the film, did an interview and said exactly that.
Yeah.
He was like, in my movie, that's how it goes down. And the show was based off of that with some added stuff. They expanded
Yeah.
it. And I do kind of wonder if they filmed that and cut it out. Because I think it's weird that the 5th brother and the 4th sister just disappear.
You're
I'm
right.
kind of
Yeah.
surprised
Yeah.
that we didn't get like one little coda, one little extra thing. And I think that maybe they swapped that out for the Palpatine stuff, or they just cut it out.
Yeah, and honestly, and I'm okay with that. And on some
me too.
level, and again, it even goes back to like, you can make it work, and you still get your allegory about how like the dark side has consequences, and revenge will kill you slowly, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. You still get that. I can't do another character who, like, I'm a good guy and I'm gonna die now. I just can't do it again.
It would have been the
seeing-
second sister, like, again.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Which,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I think he said in that interview, he didn't know about her story, or
he wrote the film before the game came out.
yeah,
So then the game, I mean, does so much.
that's bound to happen in Star Wars.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
wonder if maybe that was the original plan and then they changed it in the edit or something. But I'm thrilled she survived. Like, I would much prefer that. And if she had died that way, I would have been like, this is just the second sister.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is truth to that. Also, everybody in the chat has been going, and this is like sincerely the first time I've been like, damn, it's hard to keep up. Yeah, no, I think there's truth to that. You know, all the Darksiders who just won't die. I love that, Vader among them. Yeah, that is also a very big one that I wonder. I mean, well, clearly Vader has to know that she knows, because he acknowledges the fact that he knows she knows. He knows
Yeah.
she knows.
Yeah.
They don't know that we know that they know. Yeah.
A lot of circular logic there involved, but so I know you guys are gonna have to get going soon. So I do want to talk about this as kind of, I think, the most nebulous thing, and we can keep going after you guys leave, because I know you guys have a certain point of view to do. There is the floating around rumors that there will be a part 2 to this, and
I don't know if I want one.
okay, I know the reigning consensus is let a good enough thing alone. I have been living the Anakin quote of I want more. I know but I know I shouldn't. That is where I've been living with this. If there is more, where would you like to see it go? I will start with Alex and Molly.
I mean, I don't think there should be a show called Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2.
Yeah.
I think we could, if they wanted to continue Reva's character, we could get a show about the path, or I don't think they would give her own show, but she could be one of the main characters of something like the path. She could take Tala's place as part of her atonement, and work with the rest of the people in the early days of the rebellion and the path and things like that. So a spin-off show, I could see the possibility of happening, but there's just, we got such a perfect ending, a beginning and an ending for the show. Like, we see Obi-Wan become Obi-Wan again, and then he goes off with Qui-Gon. They could go really trippy and just show us the weird training that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are gonna do together, but I doubt that would happen.
See, to me, when they first announced this series, I was kind of like, maybe that's what it'll be about, because at the time I was like, Obi-Wan should not leave Tatooine, and I hadn't considered the Leia side of it. And once they did that, I was like, that makes perfect sense, and I'm glad they're doing this. But if they were to do the spirit journey now, or like go to the Wellspring of Life, or maybe encounter the Force Priestesses another way, I don't know exactly what Obi-Wan needs to do, but from what I recall of those Clone Wars episodes, it's like making Yoda face his darkest self and overcoming all that. And I feel like Obi-Wan has done enough. Mm-hmm. I feel like this was a physical spirit journey where he faced his guilt and his fears and he overcame them. So I feel like he'd show up to the Wellspring of Life and the Force Priestesses would be like, you're good. Like, here's your Force Ghost card.
Yeah.
Go on home. So I agree that I think we do something with the path, follow Reva and what she does, because that makes so much sense to me, to go from being willing to murder everyone in the path for revenge to shifting now and making sure that what happened to her never happens to someone else. I love that. And then have Obi-Wan in a supporting role, because I do think it's a little strange that we didn't get a final scene with her. Just what's she doing? Where's she going? Like, maybe she hangs out with Kenobi for a while, because she knows there's something about Luke, and I don't think Obi-Wan would just be like, okay, see ya.
Yeah, just assume that she would never question that and do something about it again.
Yeah. So the Stuart Beatty again was talking about how he envisioned this as a trilogy of films. So I do think that there's more story to be told about Obi-Wan if they chose to do that. It does sound like Stuart wanted it to be the spirit journey stuff, but
I think that would be cool for something like Tales of the Jedi.
Sure.
Like some short, and like, especially if it's animated, they could get real weird with it. And I would love to see more weird Force stuff.
To me, I'm like, I thought the series began and ended perfectly. I loved the bookend of, he has found balance. He is himself again. Qui-Gon is back as proof of that. Like, I don't need to see the training. I would absolutely watch it, but I'm also like, we can do some new characters. Reva is a new character. I like the era that we're in, so I'd be down with that. I would be fine if they announced Kenobi season 2, but I don't need it.
Let's see more of Beru just kicking
Hell
ass
yeah.
and taking names. Like, Beru needs her own show.
I will maintain my headcanon. I've said this a few times now. The reason why everyone is burnt to a crisp at the Lars homestead is because that's how hard a fight Owen and Beru put up, and that they went, holy shit, these farmers are hard to kill, bring out the actual bombs. And they just had to carpet bomb the homestead, and that is the only reason why any stormtroopers got out of the Jundland Wastes.
That pit is full of stormtroopers.
Yeah, there's a pile of
bodies
just off camera.
Yeah, there's a joke Spencer made last week where he's like, what you see is like the smoking bodies by the door. What you don't see is just like the tracks left from like them having to drag stormtroopers away from the melee.
Or maybe some of the smoke's the pyre of.
Yeah, it's
stormtrooper
just dead stormtroopers. Well, since Alex and Mollie are here, I'm just gonna let them do all the question answering for lore stuff. That's why I bring them on. I don't have to answer anything. They already know this stuff. In the OT, does Obi-Wan ever come outright and say there are no other Jedi? I know Yoda says it, but does Obi-Wan?
He says they're all but extinct, is what I recall.
Which is like a non-answer. It's classic Obi-Wan.
And even Yoda, like, Last of the Jedi, you will be. I think it's clear that's not the case. But I think he means last hope. Like, let's light a fire under your ass and go fix this, please.
Yoda's been on Dagobah for a long time, and he's just completely lost it.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He's been nibbling on the Gimmer stick too much. I think they could do a season 2. And I think that the best route they could go with it is I think you adapt some Legends material. Before we knew that Vader was going to be in the show, when that was still kind of up in the air, I absolutely thought they were going to go hog wild with that Star Wars Legacy flashback and do the whole Asherad Het showdown in the desert thing. And I think you could do a really cool season 2 where a plot line similar to that is brewing. I think you have it be that Asherad has broken off from the path and is trying we've gotten too much cool stuff with the Tusken Raiders, making them more well-rounded that to the point where I don't want it to just be Asherad Het is leading like a pack of like crazy Tuskens. I think you can kind of play with that a little bit and have it be that Asherad goes back to Tatooine and is trying to like usurp the criminal empire of Tatooine to be his like band of outlaws trying to push back against the empire. Kind of do like a Saw Gerrera type thing. Like, hey, you're on the right path, but holy shit, calm down. Go that route with it. And you can have Roken and Reva come to Tatooine and be like, hey, one of our own has gone rogue. Shit, we need your help. And I think there's Roken, Reva, Quinlan Vos, like you can have that kind of team up there. And with the backdrop of the Qui-Gon Obi-Wan Force Ghost training stuff. And, I've made jokes about it on Twitter with like the, Obi-Wan Kenobi finished the job challenge where like the amount of Sith Lords and like galactic threats that come from the fact that he just didn't kill somebody. Like Maul comes back, Vader comes back. In Legends, he becomes Darth Krayt, Asherad does, and the amount of times that like Grievous got away. That like I think there would be something, and Alex, you kind of alluded to it with the like very spiritual, like you have to face down whatever to kind of like unlock that ability, for lack of a better term. I think putting Obi-Wan in a situation where you have that moment where he cuts off Asherad's arm, but he spares his life, reframe that as like that mercy giving Asherad a chance to choose to do better. And I think it'd be kind of hard to do Darth Krayt in the current canon anyway. So much as I love him, I'm okay with never having that in canon. But I think you could do something cool with like Obi-Wan and I think Obi-Wan and mercy as a theme. I think you could do a lot with that and his, transcendence, the fact that like he will die in an act of vengeance, but Vader's lack of mercy being the reason why Obi-Wan wins, and recontextualizing all of that. I think there's a lot there. And I think that there's more moments to kind of get like rogue Jedi Reva as part of the path in there as well. And that like, give it a couple years and Obi-Wan like gets to see, oh, Quinlan, holy shit, you're still alive. That's good. Roken, it's been a minute. Reva, oh my God, you're like a whole ass Jedi again. Look at you.
With a white lightsaber, hopefully.
Yeah, white lightsaber. I honestly don't even care what color lightsaber. Just give her something cool, like white, yellow, or orange. No blue or green. Especially if you have Quinlan and Asherad, I think you just have like a cool like the whole ass rainbow of lightsaber colors there. But that's just set dressing. But I do think there's a lot. I think there's so much to mine here. Like hell, like even like books and comics. I think we're gonna get a lot of cool stuff. And I'll be honest, the idea of the Path spinoff, like, seems like such a layup that I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think that you just go all in on a story about the Path. Because I know there was like the Riva show rumors, but that's the perfect way you do it. That is the absolute perfect way you do it. Lexi, Connor, Joel, season 2 talk ideas.
I have none.
No?
Nope.
No.
I
already
have
told you.
none.
I already told you. You know what? I'm good. End it right there.
I know, and you could. You
Yep.
could, but like I said, and like that Anakin quote, I want more, and I know I shouldn't.
There were too many callbacks that were perfectly placed in the last episode between Obi-Wan and Leia, and the whole "will I ever see you again" bit. And I'm like, you can't have them ever see each other again until the end.
Oh yeah, that's why it can't be like a
So,
direct continuation
I
of this
just,
story.
just cut it off. Let it float.
Cut it off, let it float.
Let it float.
All right, lots of new turns of phrase from Joel here today, guys. I know the Damons have to get going, so
I have 2 words
yes.
for my Obi-Wan sequel. Jedi Survivor.
Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
can do it all. The
I just
Path,
wanna
Riva,
say-
Quinlan, they're all there.
Yeah.
I just
Straight
want to
up,
say I
like
do
I
like
said-
the idea of the Path spinoff. I really like that a lot. I think that if they do anything, they should do that. Other than that, I want them to just end it where it is. Let it lie.
Mhm.
I mean,
Let it
oh
float.
man, that's gonna end up in like a video like 3 months from now. We're gonna lose our minds. No, honestly though, and like I love the idea of a Path spinoff because like the potential for like the Grand Inquisitor and Riva to actually like go toe to toe, like, and not just in a like a fun dude bro like smash your action figures against each other kind of way. Like I think that would carry so much weight. Like again, we're gonna keep coming back to it. The Maul Obi-Wan conversation in Twin Sons, that look what I've risen above. I think, especially with just how vicious and cruel the Grand Inquisitor is to Riva, having her, be like, yeah, I was in the gutter. Look where I am now. Like I'm not a servant of Vader. I'm not living in this like cesspool of backstabbery and self-loathing like the rest of you are. Like I'm an actual.
She should just go to the temple on I think it's Tempest in the Star Wars 2020 issue in the Star Wars 2020 run where like the Grand Inquisitor just disappears and she just shows up and she's like, "Ha! Look what I've risen above. Fuck off."
I was really thinking about them like pre the Grand Inquisitor's death, but now I want to just watch Riva just hurl pithy insults to the Grand Inquisitor's like eternally damned ghost in a temple. That's a fun direction to take it. There really is so much to mine there, and I also, and again, like this is one of those shows where like it's such a great ensemble cast. Like there was like a couple minutes ago was the first time we brought up Roken. Like O'Shea Jackson Jr. has so little time on screen, and he kills every second he has. I like Roken's just one of those characters that I want more of you. I want more of you right now. I am so into it. I want like a Roken comic miniseries where we get to see his Jedi wife. I want to see everything about that. I want more of Haja. I want to see what comes next with Haja. Like I love every ensemble character here, and I think it's this is proof that you don't need to have like a revolving door of cameos. And I use cameos very loosely because I don't think we've been using that word correctly for the last 4 years. But the more new characters you introduce, the more you build the take a drink. I'm going to use the Alden word, the tapestry of Star Wars, where like it's just there's so much to chew on, and I love this show so much.
I still can't get over the fact. I'll never get over the fact that we had both Nur and Fortress Inquisitorius just spoken aloud, and the fact that like none of them knew what Cal and Seer went through, which is just really funny. It's like, oh yeah, it's impenetrable.
No one's dumb enough to do that.
Yeah.
I did it.
Hi, my name's Cal. I'm dumb.
Cal with his giant stab wound from his own lightsaber on his gut. Funny you mention it. That's why I want Roken to be the one in Jedi Survivor, because I really want it, because like they take place in the same year. Roken doesn't know about the Fortress Inquisitorius infiltration, so clearly Survivor has to be after. So if they have a conversation and it just comes up, Raquel's like, yeah, I infiltrated Fortress Inquisitorius once, and Roken would be like, could have used you a couple months ago. You want to hear about my buddy Wade, you ginger asshole? Listen here, you son of a bitch. You and your droid can go fish Wade out of Nerf.
Hashtag Wade Parade. We will never stop.
Anywho, Alex and Molly, final thoughts and letter grade, because I know you have to go talk some schmodown while we still have it.
A letter grade?
Final thoughts and letter
final
grade.
thoughts and letter grade.
A-.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It's not a perfect show, but it's pretty close.
I think story for me is an A. There was a little bit about the execution that I would have done, or I wish were done differently, but is what it is. I'm gonna remember it for the story, not the occasional moments where I was like, that's the volume.
Yeah. I agree. A- is a good way to put it. And I can't wait to watch. I haven't gotten a chance to watch A New Hope again since having seen this whole series now, and so I'm just excited to rewatch A New Hope and really just feel that scene even harder when Obi-Wan looks over to Luke and Leia and he's like, "I did it." Obi-Wan out. Mic drop.
My job is done.
Yeah.
I can finally rest.
Yeah.
Psych.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Like,
I really want, and like, I know we don't get novelizations for everything, and I don't know when or how you do this. I so badly want something that is Leia telling Luke about this.
Mm.
From a certain point of view, Return of the Jedi, maybe.
Yeah.
That
There's a
would be
lot of
great.
stuff
Like,
in that book that I want.
Wherever you find a place for it, like be it right after the Battle of Yavin, be it I don't care when, but just there being a moment where like Leia's like, did I ever tell you how I knew Ben, Obi-Wan? Did that ever come up yet? And Luke being like, no. He's like, for the longest time, I thought it was just some crazy bum in the desert who like screamed at Tusken Raiders in a weird way. And then it's like, oh no, it's just I want that story. Like I want the entire like script of Leia walking Luke through everything that happened, and
Like Olaf style in Frozen, where he's doing the reenactment.
Yes. Exactly the same thing. Yes.
and like the way it maps perfectly for the like, and then they died for Tala.
Oh.
I didn't like saying it either.
I'll still
That's
say
fucking raw, Joel.
if you had Tala, Leia, and well, I mean, just Tala and Leia together, there would have been no galactic civil war. It would have been over. Empire destroyed. Emperor gone. Death Star wouldn't have existed. Just, it would have been
Give
too
Baru
powerful.
an Imperial heavy repeater and just a little light armor. You should take care of that shit in an afternoon.
I do love the idea of seeing Leia tell Luke about this whole story and being like, "You would never have made it, buddy. Like I survived being kidnapped. I survived like talking back to an Inquisitor. You would
So much
never
more
have
of a
done it."
badass.
I just love the idea where like by the end of the story, Luke goes, I think I met that Reva lady. I fell and hit my head. Oh, did she attack you? No, I just tripped. I just fell and hit my head. Oh, like she really would have killed you.
Yeah.
Again,
He's like,
she-
oh, I didn't
tells
black
him
out
this-
and have a dream.
She tells Luke this whole story, and then she's like, "But you got a medal for what you
Yeah.
did." So
Good job.
yay.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if we learn one thing from the beginning of A New Hope, Luke's good at one thing, and that's going, meow. Yeah. Meanwhile, Leia's like committing seditious conspiracy against the evil fascist empire.
He
Molly, did you
participated.
give? What'd you say?
He participated.
He participated. He made shit go boom. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Molly, your final thoughts on letter grade if you didn't give it yet already. We all got caught up in.
I'm agreeing. I'm saying A- would have also been my grade. Yeah.
All right. Well, I say this because it's kind of part of the format, but anybody who's watching us is very well familiar with you guys. But well, tell the lovely people where they can find you and all that you do.
We're on YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram at Star Wars Explained.
Yeah.
And you have your own Twitter.
Oh, I do. At Mollie Damon on Twitter.
Plug yourself. Yeah, no, like I said, if there's any guest that need no introduction, I could honestly just begin the stream with putting them on first, and y'all would know what's going on. Star Wars YouTube channel that isn't hate-fueled dumb shit. Actually, like I said, y'all are the goats.
Give it
And
time. You never know. No, I'm kidding.
That should be our slogan. Not give it time, the other one.
You never know.
I mean, I'm here for the Star Wars Explained heel turn. I'm here.
I'm
here
not
for you guys.
Jared. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I mean, hey, I mean, like sometimes it's fun to watch good people do the grift, you know, and make some good.
No, it's not.
Make some of the moolah. I
No,
know
it's not.
I know it's not. As always, guys, it's always an honor to have you on. Especially, you know, I every time there's a Star Wars show that wraps up, you guys are the first people I reach out to try to have on to talk about it. So thank you so very much for giving us a little bit of your time. I know you guys got to go record more stuff.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for
Always.
having us.
She's on a show. I'm going to go chill.
You're gonna go cook dinner.
Yeah, I'm going to cook dinner.
What's for dinner at House Damon?
Pork chops.
Pork chops. Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking love a good pork chop. All right, you guys enjoy those pork chops and enjoy Point of View. May the force be with
Thank
you guys.
you. Hey.
Like, the key got stuck, so I added them just as I removed them. And then I tried to undo it while it was happening, and then I just made it happen more.
I apologize for turning off my camera and turning. Both of my cats kept trying to get in and out of the room like 10 times. So if you were wondering why I shut off my camera a couple times, I was getting angry at my cats.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna take this moment. I need to check my voicemail real quick.
Okay, Joel, you do that.
It's I got an important call possibly.
Okay, yeah, you.
Check that.
He even does that little shuffle like a father. He does it
Like a
Old
father,
man.
like a bantha.
Like a bad.
That's our version
What an
of
old
it
man.
now. Like a father.
like a father. Phone clip and everything. Connor, final thoughts and letter grade.
I thought it was really good. I would have to agree with the Damons. A-. Really like the story. I would have, obviously, we all would have probably done a few things differently here and there, but like for the most part, I really enjoyed it and really liked what they did with Kenobi's journey and arc.
All
So,
right.
yeah, it was neat.
It was neat.
Neat. Lexi, final thoughts and letter grade for.
It was neat.
I give it a neat plus. Thank you very much.
A neat plus. I think A- or A. I think they did very well with the characters, and I love little Leia so much. And Lola.
Yep.
I want a Lola really bad. I really do like Reva. I kind of understand what Joel was saying, but I don't think he was getting it.
I mean,
And
again,
I'll say
like,
that
yeah.
while he's gone.
Well, no, I mean, the moment I kind of had that, like, oh yeah, we're just doing Kylo Ren again. He was like, they're trying so hard to be the bad guy, and I'm like, okay, you're so close. You're so
Yeah,
close.
she
That's
was
the
a little
point.
bit deeper, I think, and not that I don't love Kylo Ren, because you know I like him too. Just I didn't really have any gripes. I think Joel had more gripes than our friend Levi even did, because Levi
That's
was
a new one.
nitpicking. I know, but like I said, A- or A. They had the perfect amount of callbacks, I think. I wanted to see more Qui-Gon, but whatever. I knew he was coming in at some point, and I had a feeling it was going to be the end. It felt.
That's a complaint I have about Star Wars in general. I want more Qui-Gon.
I felt like I had a nice little, not like resolution, but I felt kind of complete watching Kenobi. I think they did it very nicely. So
Excellent.
that's what I say.
I will. A lot of my only real gripes I have with the show come down to staging and blocking issues, which like a lot of it comes down to the fact that it's a TV show. And please be so careful. You stepped on that cord and gave me a heart attack. I know. You really frightened me there for a second, and I thought everything was about to just get ripped off the table.
We all right. We all right.
Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We're gonna be all right. Okay.
We all right.
For whatever reason, Joel decided to walk this way behind the camera and the monitor.
He has to do it the hard way.
And then stepped on like the cord that everything's plugged into, and I saw it tug, and Joel and I both went.
I should tell you what, I did like a dinosaur like freeze kind of thing. No,
you seem a little sleep deprived. Are you all right? I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just got a voicemail that was 45 seconds of silence.
Nice.
It took me like a solid 2 minutes to figure out that it was silence and it wasn't just my ineptitude in general. So I know it was 45 seconds of silence. So anyway,
Great.
So I came in and I was sweating because it's really hot and muggy outside. So I wanted to go over to the AC unit and sit in front of the AC unit.
Oh, that's what you were doing. Okay. I thought
There's
you were
a
walking
method to his
the
madness.
long way around
Yeah,
for no reason.
yeah.
Um,
Anyway, sorry. Back to the important stuff.
Yeah, no, a lot of my issues are like come down to like blocking and staging for a lot of stuff. And like I don't know, maybe this isn't a leniency I should give the show because I know it was supposed to be a movie and now we're trying to do this on a TV budget. But also it is a TV show, so like do TV. But there were some action scenes that I just, the blocking was weird. I still to this day, and like again, this is super nitpicky, but like the shot has just stayed in my head of Obi-Wan in episode 4, after he takes out the hallway full of stormtroopers, and he kind of like goes to like whoa, 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 action hero pose, but like stops before he actually like strikes the pose. And I've seen people say like, that was him kind of getting his groove back and going, oh shit, Leia. And kind of like remembering like he had a job to do. But it still just kind of feels like a little weirdly floaty still. And not quite like Ewan knew the camera was on still almost type thing. Obviously he did, but like there's just some blocking and staging things that feel very like abruptly like, oh shit, this is a TV budget. But nonetheless, like Alex had said, the story is what matters. The story is paramount. And, this was, I think, the most anticipated Star Wars project post the Disney acquisition. Like, we knew we were going to get our new trilogy. And, like, everybody was excited for that until it became a knife fight to talk about it on the internet. And there were always those rumors percolating from day one. Obi-Wan Kenobi thing, Obi-Wan Kenobi thing, Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. The night Solo was released, there was that we are making an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. They're going to announce it soon. And then Solo bombed. And then they stopped doing these spin-off movies. And we didn't know what the hell was ever going to happen. Like, this show was the like big cultural moment for Star Wars we've been waiting for pretty much since The Force Awakens. If there have been 3 like moments where the zeitgeist really got a shock to the system, it is The Force Awakens, The Mandalorian, Season 1, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think a show that could have been a clusterfuck of empty nostalgia and pandering ended up being a very thoughtful story that gets to the heart of the core themes of Star Wars, of family, of loss, of facing your fears, of redemption, of love and compassion and family above all else. And like I said, the more I think about it, this might be my new favorite Star Wars. If not, it is head and shoulders with The Last Jedi. And any of y'all who have been around these parts for long enough know I don't think I could give a Star Wars project higher praise than that. A+. Joseph?
First, I would like to address how I was not even in the room for this. And all of a sudden, I came in the chat.
Eli, I love you.
I was talking about you a little bit while you were gone, so maybe that's why.
Anyway, so I did a calculation.
No. Yeah.
Don't math this up.
They're new, and I'm going to give them their first patron shout out.
No, I did a calculation. I gave it an 86.67%.
I thought you were doing Patreon math. I sincerely thought, because you had it pulled over to this part of the screen.
I was curious.
And I thought you were. I'm like, why are you going to tell people what we're making on Patreon? Like, why are you doing this?
No, I averaged. I graded each episode and averaged it out. And
I had a feeling that's what you were.
Same.
Why? Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know. But yeah, that's my grade. I was gonna give it an A-, and that's where like my brain went, like a 90.01. But
don't be that guy.
Like, you know what? I'll just actually do it.
Don't be that guy.
You know, calculate it out. So B, solid B plus ish. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
You should have a conversation with Levi at some point about the show.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the chat. I've had conversation with Levi. We went and got Chinese the other day.
Oh,
and
perfect.
Yeah, we agree on most things, as always.
Words of a shit take flock together. From Eli in a galaxy saying 86.67 question mark? 86? Wait, dear Lord. That hurt me on a physical level. Yes, welcome to Talking to Joel, Eli, where as much as you love the man, you will sustain psychic damage talking to him sometimes.
I am in love with Ewan McGregor. Don't get me wrong. He is my man, okay? I have watched everything he's been in, I think, that I'm aware of. And
you watched Train Spotting?
No. But I watched him in a lot of this.
I know. I was really hoping you were going to say yes, because that's where he plays like a meth head and shit. And it's really funny.
I mean, he's
movie's not funny.
He's sort of a druggie in Halston, which he did a phenomenal job in. I can't hear him the same anymore. I still hear him as Halston in Obi-Wan, and I just, like, because he had the interview. He was like, I had to try to find the Obi-Wan voice again, right? And I'm like, dude, you were so close, but you still have like 10% Halston.
I think part of that. I think he did this intentionally. I think the voice is not quite, like the Revenge of the Sith thing. Very wise Jedi, Anakin, and I'm very proud of you. Like, I think there's intentionally like a really nice like garnishing of Alec Guinness in there.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of that. Like, there's a little. I'm no longer going to fight Joel with facts. The only thing flying is hands now. Book, not a bad idea, my friend.
I need to see this now. This is the new Versus series.
Boop v. Joel, coming to you.
Trivia,
September.
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and bird facts.
And hands.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I love the implicit way you were like, I'm not going to fight Boop. I'm going to do bird trivia.
Bird trivia. Boop flying fists.
Yes. Little programming note. Next week, both the July and June episodes of the Versus series will be coming out. And just because Travis and I have had a hard time keeping up with all the TV recently, we're going to be opting to be doing Ms. Marvel and The Boys season 3 as full season reviews. I'm just going to let for everything calm down with that, especially because we have Thor: Love and Thunder coming out this week. There's a lot on our plates, so we are going to wait to just kind of blast through all of it in big season reviews and then get back on the horse come time for She-Hulk and Andor. That way we won't have like 18 things coming out at once. Everybody tell the lovely people where they can find you while I go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, Alexis, you may go.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go. Okay, Lexi Lion 98 on Twitter, Acapella98 on Instagram.
You know, we can
We'll
talk shit about Jared now.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
Damn,
I'm
do you
ready.
see
I'm always ready.
those stupid shirts he wears all the time?
Literally.
You know,
God.
we've talked about it. He needs to buy stock in that company because of how many he has. But
It's a problem, and I hate
will
it.
say though, they are like so perfectly subtly nerdy to the point where like it's just
I love that shit so much. I love subtle nerdy. I love it.
you got to throw that in.
Yes, please, thank you. Any chance to get, I will talk shit about Jared for many reasons. So
sorry, I cut you off. You can
Keep going.
continue your.
Yeah. I think that's it. Just the two, Acapella 98 and Lexi Lion 98.
All
And
right.
I'm gonna apologize again that they're not the same, but somebody else
Had the
has
other
that username, so it's fine. Anyway, Connor.
Sure. Twitter, Depa Banana. I talk Star Wars and other stuff. I co-host another podcast called For the Republic, a love letter to Star Wars animation. I co-host it with three other lovely people. We just finished our Kenobi review. We're going to do our season review probably this week. But our main show is just going through Star Wars animated shows and just talking about each arc. So right now we're going through the Clone Wars very slowly. So we will be done the Clone Wars in like 3 years. It's taken forever. So go check us out there, Spotify, YouTube, wherever. No, just we're not visual. We're audio only. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen there. Where else? Oh, sweditorIG.com. I write articles. I have some in the works. I just haven't published them yet because I take forever. Fun fact, actually, today is the 1 year anniversary of me publishing my interview that I did with Jedi Fallen Order writer Matt Miknovitz. Go check that out if you haven't. It's really neat. Hoping to get him on to tonight's proper. He's expressed interest. We just gotta hash it out. But I also write stories for Star Wars editor fiction.
We don't need you. Go away.
I don't have any stories published yet. I have a few in the works, all about one particular Jedi that you all can figure out who it is.
Oh, I see.
If
The
you just
chat's
know
been very
right
friendly.
now.
Hi, Eli, you little fuck. Yeah.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. Check out the stories that are already on the website because they're really freaking good. So
Awesome. Thanks,
Yep.
Connor.
you got it.
I beat Trey and I beat Connor and I beat Spencer in the one, and I'm not going to spoil the epic confrontation that came out yesterday, but I'm going to be beating that person's ass next. So
I would
listen
say
here.
something, but I don't want to spoil it either.
Well, I know. I'm not going to spoil your shit, Eli. I'm not going to spoil your show. Lexi, you motherfuckers.
Joel started it.
You
I
think you can trust
continued it.
somebody.
We talk some shit about
You think you can
man.
trust
Now
somebody
the only
in
way
these
you
streets.
can figure out what we said is if you watch the episode.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
You're
rewind it,
on
you
that.
hateful sons of bitches. Is J-Ro
Joel
in here?
started it.
Is J-Ro in this chat? Is J-Ro
I don't
talking
think
shit
so.
too?
I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
I ain't got no one in these streets. Not a single person. Not a soul. Oh,
Pepperoni, Broglioli.
Well, you can find me on
Joel.
Twitter and
getting your ass
Instagram
beat in the backyard.
at Jay the Sentinel. I changed my Instagram to Jay the Sentinel as well. It used to be Bass and Bacon Cosplay. It's now Jay the Sentinel. some uniformity, unlike Lexi over here.
I'm sorry, but tell the person with my name on Twitter to stop it. But they haven't logged on since 2018, apparently. So who knows what they're doing with my username?
Delete their account.
Oh, thank you, Boop. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. I was responding to Scotty saying nice things on Twitter because that's why Scotty's such a powerhouse in gaslighting. Is you don't know if you're going to get like a very sweet compliment or if he's going to say the meanest shit he can think of about you. In the most recent,
y'all don't know Jared the way we know Jared. You guys only see one way of Jared. He's actually terrible.
No. We can't go that far. That's just we can't take
live on stream, everybody.
Is it time for them to find out I'm a strand cast of Alex Jones?
I mean,
that's dark timeline.
Is it, if there's any person that's exactly how they are on screen as they are in person, and exactly what you'd expect, it's this guy.
False, but okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
God damn it.
I have.
You know who made that? Scotty J-Ro.
Oh man, there were so many over the weekend. I got so many images of photoshops of Jared into random photos. Oh
my favorite. I didn't post it because I didn't want to start a fight on Twitter, but my favorite is one of me. Well, not unprovoked, come knocking and I'll knock back. But I keep it to internet vigilantism. But where they had me like doing that at a TV, and it was whenever Star Wars Theory was crying, and I thought that was funny. But yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552, posting edits Scotty made of me because I made the mistake of posting a picture of me standing next to a Lightyear poster in my Buzz Lightyear shirt. And then
the rest is history.
And then every other podcast host I'm in a group chat with went, we're going to fuck with him. Because he was excited about this movie. We're going to fuck with him. Anyway, what do we got here? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. Ask Scotty, do you know what gaslighting is? No, he doesn't, actually. Scotty doesn't like gas fire. Jared doesn't. Yeah, no, he doesn't. He would never. We got, you didn't want to fight. I wasn't. I am the one who knocks. I'm like Walter White with a better hair. Yeah, Twitter and Instagram, DarkJedi2552. And you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.nerdacademypodcast.com, where, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page.
Give me $1!
Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Nick Johnson. Get your ear holes ready.
Thanks for the warning this time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I remember blowing your shit out on the last episode you were on. And to Paco, or as he's known on our Patreon currently, go to saveinfowars.com and use code TNAP for 5% off your order. That's saveinfowars.com, code TNAP.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
I wish I was able to like do a multi-screen for that. I wish I got footage of watching Joel watch that clip for the first time.
I literally like grasped my boob like Chris Evans and had a heart attack.
Lexi?
The way that Alex Jones did his little hemorrhoid scream, he probably has hemorrhoids, reminded me, and here's my Do you remember that episode of SpongeBob? Probably not, but the Flying Dutchman goes, ah, ooh, ah. That's what it
Ladle,
reminds me
ladle, ladle, ladle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the legally thing.
of. Yeah. Sorry.
Ow! I
That's
can't
funny.
even do the SpongeBob laugh.
Did any of you happen to see fucking oh shit what Alex said on 4th of July? Did any of you
No.
see that floating around on the
No.
internet?
No.
I need to read this live on air.
I tried to stay off the internet on the 4th of July.
Oh, hold on. A direct quote. I'm going to use the voice.
I'm scared.
I declare a declaration of independence against the alien force that is attempting to exterminate the majority of us and force the minority to merge with AI computers and become cyborg slaves of Satan.
I hope he gets help. He needs
I have a
help.
version of help in my mind that I'm not going to say on air.
He needs some milk.
Needs
And
more
a
than
gag
that.
order. He needs to have his studio legally taken away from him.
So I just want to say thanks to the viewers who have stuck with us this entire time.
Yeah, that number
Yep.
stayed steady. I do want to say before we move on, we do have a new $10 patron. So thank you to Keandre Lloyd for getting into the muck with the Nerd Academy. I
We're
now have to
sorry.
find you a new clip of somebody screaming because I've decided that's what we do for our $10 patrons.
Every $10 patron gets a screen.
Get a scream out.
And
at
it
the
can
end.
be one of you if
Yeah.
you send it in to this.
Hey, that's what happened with Nick.
1-800 number.
That's what happened with Nick. They posted a TikTok of them screaming from the pits of hell, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to play that when I shout you out on Patreon or on the podcast now." Paco has made like several Alex Jones jokes as his name on the Patreon, so I was like, "Okay, you get a clip of Alex." Keandre, message us on Patreon if you don't like this. I feel like putting the Screaming Goat on the stream deck. Screaming Goat feels right.
One of my best friends is in school for audiology right now. She checked my ears as a little fun thing. My eardrums my eardrums are quite healthy, and I'm very surprised that they are at this point with all of you screaming at me in my ears. But you
Alex,
know
too.
what? It's great.
Keandre, hey, I'm glad to see that you're in the chat watching. Like I said, if you don't want the Screaming Goat, if you have a preferred screaming clip you'd like me to use, link it to me in the Patreon messenger, and I will make sure it's in the stream deck from now on for you.
Unbelievable.
But to make up for it, here's Alex again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a little bit. Oh, hey, our Patreon went down. Anyway, I kid. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. Like I said, Ms. Marvel will get a full season review. The boys will get a full season review, and we'll have a review out for Thor: Love and Thunder. Hopefully not long after the movie comes out. I was talking to, bring him up again, Nick from Multiple Fan Bases and the fellows from Comic Book Cast. We might be doing another like big stream review for Thor, and we'll go from there. But yeah, thank you all so very much for watching and listening. We're honored that you have joined us. Looking forward to get back in the saddle with TV reviews again with Andor. And may the force. Oh, wait, we got some more comments coming through before I kill the stream. The boys should be fun to talk about. I am behind. I have not seen this week's episode. The Hero-gasm episode was fantastic. Don't shake your head. Don't shake your head at me.
I'm shaking my head at you. I'm shaking my head at the episode that I didn't see but know all about for some reason. Gross.
R.I.P. Love Sausage. You will be missed.
No. No. Fuck that guy.
Have you seen any of season 3 of The Boys, Connor?
Yeah.
Okay, I
I'm
thought you've
caught
been
up.
watching. Okay, that's the way you said that. I was like, oh no, did Connor not know that Love Sausage got killed? And I was.
Oh yeah, no. I'm glad.
Oh, no, he didn't
Fuck
get
that
killed.
guy.
He got his dick
Spoiler
blown
alert.
off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Spoiler
even
alert.
better. A fate worse than
Yeah.
death. Fuck that guy.
Sorry.
No, R.I.P. Love Sausage, Love Sausage. Anyway, yeah, see you all for all of that. We're doing Spielberg on what? Yeah, I know. We're doing Spielberg month for Movie Club. We're going to be doing Jaws, Jurassic Park, and E.T. So tune in for all of that. So yeah, may the force be with you. And class dismissed.
Stop. Move away.